All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Monday, November 15th, 2021. This morning, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. Recently, it's been getting talked about a lot, and the whole idea around taking the jump. You know, what is it that you're supposed to be doing that you haven't started yet, that you haven't pursued yet, that you've been afraid to start? Man, sometimes in life, things aren't always going to line up. Most of the time, almost always, they're not going to just line up for you. And you got to have the courage. You got to be brave enough to just take the jump in order to step into what you're actually supposed to be doing in life. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Happy Monday to you. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes behind this morning. I was running late, to be transparent. I was trying to get out of the house, man. It was a crazy morning at home. So, but I'm happy to be here with you guys, and thank you guys for joining me. This morning, I wanted to kick off the week, man. You know, the talk that I did at the Grow Your Business for God's Sake conference spurred a lot of conversation around this topic of, you know, taking the jump, of being willing to take the jump in order to achieve what it is that you've always wanted. You know, in order to pursue your dreams, you have to be willing to take the risk. And, you know, it actually surprised me how many people can relate and connect to that topic. And so we wanted to talk about that this morning, wanted to dig into that a little bit more, challenge you guys a little bit more, and really, you know, show you that nothing is ever going to line up perfectly for you, and really dig into that and give you some perspective on what it's like to take that jump regardless of the risk. But first, as always, I want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening? Tammy Clark, my girl over there from the West Coast, checking in. Christina Berry, Gary Script, good morning to you, brother. Vicky Everett, Sharif, Jared, Daniel Good, Ed, my business partner, Ed, Rick, Alton, good morning to you. I think I haven't seen Alton on here very much, so welcome to the show, brother. Appreciate you. Jared Burden, David Martin, good morning to you guys, and thank you for being here. So after that conversation that I had with the audience in Lexington, Kentucky, man, I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of texts and phone calls and people from the conference who have scheduled time to talk with me a little bit more about what it is that they are trying to accomplish in their life, what dreams that they've had that they have not pursued yet. And the reasons behind that is literally almost entirely related to fear. And so that kind of sparked a lot of thought in my mind of just how important this conversation is for people, because I think that, you know, for all of us, our dreams are different. What we want looks different, but the desire to live a life that's in alignment with what we truly desire, with what our dreams are, that is not different. All of us want the same thing there. We want to wake up every single day and do things that make us not feel like we're working. And so I believe that by pursuing your dreams, that's exactly what you get. At least that's what it's done for me. And so, you know, when you're willing to take the jump, because what is possible on the other side is far greater than the fear that you have. That's when things start to line up and make sense. And so I challenge you guys to think about that today and this week, is what is it in your life that you're supposed to be doing that you haven't taken the jump to do? And that's not just work related, right? It could be, you know, someone, if, you know, you're trying to date people and you've always wanted to ask a certain person out on a date. It could be that. It could be, you know, pursuing a job. It could be going on a trip somewhere. It could be anything in your life that you've been delaying doing. You've been delaying action on. I challenge you today to find a way to take that jump. to just step in the direction of what it is that you want to do. Because, I said this from stage, and I know that it might sound harsh, but I think it's the easiest way for me to justify how I think about this. For me, that person in my life that believed in me more than anybody was my grandmother, right? And in fairness, my grandfather too. But he passed away when I was pretty young. But my grandmother always believed in me so much, always encouraged my dreams, always, no matter how crazy of an idea I had, she was always the person that was pushing me to go pursue it, right? To take that jump. And for me, I always think about when I'm ready to take my last breath here on earth, what a shame it would be if all of the belief that she had in me, all the sacrifices that my parents made to give me the opportunity to do what I can do today, what a shame it would be. And how would I feel if I didn't take the jump and I didn't pursue what was possible and I didn't just risk everything to go pursue what was possible? And so I think back to 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago now, when I started thinking about, what is the right thing to do? Should I be working for myself? Should I start a business? Should I become an entrepreneur? Or should I continue the safe route of working for someone else? That's just one example of a time when I had, to figure out if I was going to take the jump or not. And those were the thoughts that went through my mind. It's like, what if I never do this? What if I never take the jump? What if I never pursue what it is that I know I have inside of me to create, to be a person that can build a culture and a company that people want to be part of? What if I never did that? What would it feel like for me when I was taking my last breath? And so I want you guys to think about that for yourself. And again, it could be, the trip that you haven't taken. It could be anything. But there's so many things in our lives that we justify why we're not going to do. And I just have 2 words for you. Why not? Why not? What's stopping you? For those of you who have a job, the job market is crazy right now. So if you've always wanted to open a business and you open a business, I always told myself, man, if for some reason, if by the slim margin that it doesn't work, I'm a pretty talented person. I'm hardworking. I've worked hard my whole life to learn, to have the skills necessary to be successful. I can always go back and get another job. But this opportunity to jump, this burning desire that you have inside of you to do something different, that doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever, because what we do as human beings is we cover up those dreams to tell ourselves that the life that we're living today is good enough. And if you're one of those people that's telling yourself that story, that what you're doing right now, even though it's not exactly what you want to do, that it's good enough, you were not put here to be good enough. You were not put here to not pursue the God-given talents that were placed in you. You were meant to do something great with your life, to make a difference, to have an impact on people, to have an impact on your community, on the world. And how unfair is it of you that just because you're a little afraid, that you would keep that gift from the world, that you would keep that gift from your community, that you would keep that gift of being the best version of yourself that you can give away every single day to other people. So is that you? Do you have those things that you've always wanted to do? Maybe you're in business. Maybe you've got a business and it's not where you want it to be or where you know it's capable of being. What is holding you back? Because taking the jump is more than just taking the first step. It's taking it over and over and over again. being willing to assume the risk that comes along with progress. Resistance, guys, is part of the game. It's part of the game of life. If you're not feeling resistance in your life, if everything that you do is just easy, there's no resistance, you don't feel a whole lot, or it's maybe every once in a while you run into a problem, I would challenge you that you're not pushing hard enough. You're not pursuing the things that are out there in front of you that you're capable of. You're just doing what's easy. You're taking the easiest route. And when you take the easy route, guys, life gets hard. When you take the most difficult path, or you take the hard way, life gets a lot easier. Life gets better. It gets easier. You feel more alive. Everything about it is better when you don't take the easy route. And so I challenge you to think if that is you or not today. If that is you, if there's something in your life that you've always wanted to do and you've been too afraid, or you've always been putting it off, you just couldn't find the way to take the jump, today is the day to change that. Whatever it is, man, whatever it is, take the jump. Maybe you've got something going on medically and you've been afraid to go to the doctor. Take the jump, man. Go find out. Go figure out what it is. Put your mind at ease. Put your mind to work doing something productive instead of holding your mind back of all the thoughts of what if. What if this doesn't work? What if it does? We always ask ourselves, it's very easy to ask ourselves the question, what if it doesn't work? Then what? Flip that question around. What if it does work? What if it does work? What if all those things that you dreamed as a little boy or as a little girl, what if those things come true? What if you're able to change your life? What if you're able to go to the gym when you say you're going to go to the gym? What if you manufacture the discipline? You know, people look at people who are disciplined and they look at them with admiration as if somehow they were blessed with that discipline. It's not true. People who are disciplined manufacture it. They create it. They teach themselves discipline through doing hard things over and over and over and over again. And they get excited about doing the hard things. They get excited about the challenge that they get to overcome in life. And so whatever that is for you, and I know there's a couple people who have already commented in here that that's where they're at right at this moment. Take the jump, man. You'll feel way more alive than you do going through the motions. I promise you. I remember the feeling. I was you. I remember the feeling of uncertainty. And in that moment, I was unable to see reality of what it could be. I just had faith. I had faith that if I woke up every single day and I did all the right things, that it would be impossible for me to get the wrong result. So it was just a matter of time. How long was it going to take? And I was willing to do whatever it took to shorten that time, to make sure that the life that I was going to have and that my family was going to have was going to be extraordinary. And I was willing to do whatever it took to make that the case. And so I challenge you guys today to do the same. Think about what it is that you're missing, what it is that you've been hiding inside of you because you're afraid, and realize that that fear is not real, but it is a normal feeling. That fear is just something that somebody told you along the way that you've been holding on to. And when you let that go and you jump, it's like the light switch goes from off to on in your life and everything will change for you. You'll wake up every day and feel like you never actually have to work because you step into your purpose. You step into what you're supposed to be doing. And you're able to give the gifts away that God planted in you every single day of your life. And that's what I want for you guys. Every single one of you. I want you to be exactly in the image and the likeness that God created you in. And so step into it, guys. Take the jump. Be willing to do what it takes. Be willing to fail. I would rather fail than be known as the person or feel like the person that didn't try. Happy Monday to you guys. I hope you have an incredible week, incredible start to your week. And I will see you guys again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for being here.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.